Whoa! What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Open up some blinds here. La la la. Hi! Out there. I went to bed with my hair wet last night. This is what it looks like waking up. House is kind of dirty from the dogs. Floor needs to be cleaned. Had a little problem in the kitchen. Actually, I'll show you guys. Something happened with the dishwasher, so it leaked everywhere underneath the floors. This happened a little over a week ago. And had to dry all this out. Had to have somebody come in, dry it all out. And thankfully, it was only in this area you can see here. It did not go up underneath the cupboard, so these did not have to be taken out, thankfully. So yeah, the dishwasher broke and leaked everywhere. We're going through insurance right now to get all that taken care of and get the floors back in, but that is why that is like that. It's all good though. Things could be way worse. Do you like this natural look? Yeah, with the two colors. I feel like a Mars bar or something. Guys, I did a vote on Instagram about doing either the breakup video or muscle activation, like warm up video. But I decided I am going to give you guys both videos. So this video is going to be all about the proper muscle activation for depending on what you're doing training wise, and also warming up your body properly before you exercise. So let's keep in mind there are so many ways to warm up your body and to get it ready for a specific way of training. Now, I'm only giving you the basics, something that's simplified, something for you guys to use just to keep you safe, reduce injuries, and to help you in your performance and proper muscle activation on the intended muscle that you are training that day. If you guys want to take it to the next level, if you want to get more intense with it, you can do it. There's plenty of information out there to take it to the next level. That's going to be up to you. You're going to decide that. Why should we warm up? Why should we do muscle activation before training? Warming up your body doesn't have to be something crazy intense, but warming up your body before a training is going to reduce injury. It's going to prevent injury. It's going to increase your performance. You're going to feel better in your reps and your sets, and you're going to get deeper. You're going to get more extension. Instead of being tight muscles that aren't properly warmed up, the blood flow is not going. When you go try to do an exercise, a lot of times you're stiff. You didn't get the full extension. You didn't get the full rep out of it, and you start hurting. And then all of a sudden you feel defeated, and you're like, I can't do this because I just don't feel good. So there's so many reasons and benefits why to warm up before training. I always warm up my body before training, and it's usually always the same exact routine because I do full body. I do everything from neck and spine to shoulders to wrists to elbows to my hips to my knees to my ankles, a little bit of everything. So I am doing a lot of mobility work, and then it only ends up being like about 10 minutes of warm up before training, and I'm ready to go. So when I go train, I am feeling good. My body's warm, my body's feeling good, and then whatever exercise I'm about to hit, I'm gonna hit it 100%. I'm just gonna show you a basic warm up for full body. I usually will utilize a treadmill or an elliptical, or if I'm in a group exercise room, I will just jog in a circle, do jumping jacks, do high knees, something that's just very low impact, not like a full workout, something that's just gonna get my body warmed up. Now I'll complete these series of warm-ups for my whole full body before I start my actual workout. So a lot of times when I am completing these series of joint and warm-ups, I am walking on the treadmill or I am on the elliptical. So I am getting a warm-up and moving my body at the same time. Now I know a lot of you aren't gonna have the coordination or the balance to quite do a lot of these moves and be walking or be moving on an elliptical, but that's up to you. Sometimes you can hold on to if you want to, or you can literally just warm up for like 5 minutes and then another 5 minutes after you get off the machine, and then you complete all these. So it's really up to you. You can modify it for you and try different things. But I am obviously gonna show you off a machine of what I do. So again, if you're on a machine, you can incorporate these in and do them at the same time, or you can do your machine warm up and then do this full body warm up after you're off the machine. I also find that, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, talk about how stiff and you're not very flexible and you're not stretching. If you complete a lot of these, and you stay consistent, you will start getting more flexibility over time. Now, probably not to the extent of being extremely flexible into a pretzel type flexibility, but it's gonna get you on that progression forward to flexibility. I know that for my own self. I do have like 2 or 3 other days that I do focus on just yoga, flow work, mobility work, stretching, specifically for that. And you know, there's so many different moves and ways to do all of those stretchings. I do have a couple videos on that you can refer to. I will probably do an updated stretching video, but it's just one of those things of being daily, you know, it's being consistent and constantly pushing yourself a little bit further. You know, you get into this one move and you're stretched out, and then pushing yourself a little bit further and a little bit further each time, not just staying stagnant and stretching and being like, oh, I can only go this far, and you just do that same thing all the time. It's always about progressing and pushing yourself a little bit further and a little bit further. That's how you progress. It's always that little push. It's a tiny bit. It's not a lot, it's a tiny bit. And that's how you can get into being more flexible. But I do know with all of these warm-ups, they are gonna help you with the stiffness, with being a little bit more flexible. Again, reducing injury, and it's gonna make your workouts much better, your engagement and your performance. It's just gonna jump it to the next level. What is the purpose of muscle activation before you train? So you're doing a specific, very low impact, lightweight, probably just body weight or maybe resistance bands, and you're doing an isolated move on that specific muscle. Basically what you're doing is you're warming up those intended muscles. Once those muscles are warmed up, you get blood flow to that area, they're warmed up, they're gonna be firing properly. So you hear a lot of times people are very quad dominant or maybe hamstring dominant or a specific muscle dominant. That could be because those muscles end up firing first before any other muscle. So you go to do, let's use glutes as an example. So you go to do a glute exercises, but you didn't properly warm up that muscle. So you don't have the proper form in that specific exercise. What's gonna end up taking over? Probably your quads. And you're gonna end up using those muscles versus the intended muscle, which is the glute. So this goes for any other muscle on the body that you really want to isolate and focus on. Is you're doing a warm up of that specific muscle, creating better performance and better engagement for the intended muscles. You don't have to go all crazy with these warm ups. You don't have to, and it's not doing an actual full workout. I mean, you can time yourself 2 to 5 minutes of doing that specifically for that muscle. You can just do a series, like time yourself, put on your phone, put in 2 minutes, and then you're doing a specific isolated exercise. Take a resistance band. You're just doing as many reps as you can in that small time frame just to get the blood flow to those specific muscles and get that warm up. So then when you go into your workout, those muscles are gonna be firing. They're gonna be engaged and they're gonna be going. So you're gonna get more isolation on the intended muscle that you want. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel so much better. You're actually gonna feel those muscles working. It's very straightforward when it comes to muscle activation in warm-up. It does not have to be something overcomplicated and crazy and ends up being this full workout before your workout. You can really do it in 5 to 10 minutes. It's something quick, it's something simple that just gets your body warmed up, gets the right muscles warmed up before you go into your full real workout. We are just gonna go into the rest of this video. It's going to be just with all the information you need, all the moves that you need to do. And again, there's so many different ways to warm up, and it doesn't have to be specifically this way, but it'll just give you the basics and give you a guide to get started and to get you on the road to success and, you know, preventing injury and working the right muscles. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and thanks for always tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe too. Don't forget to do that. Thumbs up! All right, so the first thing we gotta do, after you warm up, 5 minutes, it could be on the floor like that or on the treadmill. And if you're not doing these moves On the treadmill, you are going to stand in one position. Key, starting up here with your neck, is none of this. Relax your shoulders. Keep them relaxed. Everything. Let your head fall. Relaxed. Slow. Do not go fast, because if you go too fast, that's actually, you're gonna cause yourself more problems and probably injure yourself. So it's everything's very slow. I know I have some videos, they're a little bit sped up, but everything is very slow, very controlled, and keeping everything relaxed. That is the key. So we're gonna be starting with our neck. Again, circles, relaxed, and slow. Key is breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, breathing through the movements. Now we're gonna go the other way. All right, so after we do full rotations, both directions, then we let our head hang back and forward, and we're gonna do half rotations, half circles for those. Again, relaxed, everything relaxed. All right, so now we're gonna be moving into the next one, and it's just a side-to-side motion. So it's this direction and this direction. So you're stretching through your neck into your shoulders and your traps. Arms relaxed, stretch, stretch. All right, now we're gonna move on to shoulders. Now it's gonna be forward rotation and back rotation. Now some of you aren't as flexible in your shoulders, but still try to complete these movements in what way your body will allow. But don't try to force it to the point where you're gonna hurt yourself. So you're gonna do straight back. Again, slow, it's not fast. You're not trying to tear your arm out of your socket, and then you're going backwards. Now some of you may be like this. You can only do a rotation like this, and you can't come back this far. This takes time, and this takes progression. It takes work, slowly increasing your flexibility and range of motion, and allowing your body to go in these different directions. So just do the best you can, and then you're doing the same thing to the other side. Then after that, circles. So it looks like this. Circles forward, circles backwards, then up, forward, back. Crossovers here. Again, all the shoulders, the spine, the neck. Now, a lot of you guys, if you can put your arm behind your head, just like this. Again, everyone's flexibility is going to be different. I've become a lot more flexible than I used to be, so I'm able to really pull myself. You're going to pull here. If you need to hold yourself, you can hold yourself here for a count. So we're going to do a count of 5 for each side. Now some of you might only be able to be in this position. You cannot come all the way down. Again, just go to what your body will allow. And right when you feel that tightness and that little, that's where you stop and you sit there. And if you can go a little bit deeper, go a little bit deeper. We've focused on warming up the shoulders. And if you can be walking on a treadmill or an elliptical and still do these movements, there you go. You can consolidate into one and increase your warm-up time or shorten it and do it all in once. You can't do them at the same time. Do them completely separate. It's fine. But keeping yourself timed will keep you on track. It'll keep you from going overboard or fatiguing yourself before you even your actual workout. Now we're going to come into hips. Very, very important. Again, I do this before every single training session. Okay. So now we're going to be in this position. we're gonna do kind of like, I don't know what you call these. It's like cha-cha. It's like, yeah. So we're gonna do rotations. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Forward, pelvis thrusts forward, butt back. Pelvis thrusts forward, butt back. Woo. We go one way, now we're gonna go the other way. All right, so after we do our rotations for our hip flexors, now we're gonna go to knees. So this I find is so important, especially if you're doing any jumping exercises, if you're doing squats, you're doing legs, and you're doing where you're putting pressure on your knees. Warm up of your knees and your joints are so important. So we're gonna be here, you're gonna be in our kind of a squatting position, and you're going to be pushing them straight back and then out. And you're making circles with your knees. So it looks like this. So you're trying to only get knee movement in there. So we're doing rotations inward and upward. Then we're coming together. Ooh, Marilyn Monroe. Doing these rotations just like this. Okay, so now we've got those warmed up. Now we're going to do ankles. I like to just do rotation one way, rotation the other way, and then we do rotation outwards and inwards. Now, really important, and I do this a lot, especially for hip flexors. I love doing this. I do them all the time for every leg day. So a lot of you might need to hold on to something. I can do these because of my balance. I can do them without. So it's you're moving your hip flexor into all different directions. So this is just going to create better mobility and also avoid injuries, and it's going to help you not be as stiff in your hip flexors and your hips when you're doing leg exercises. So if you need to hold on to something, you're coming out motion, and then you're going to go back like a kickback and rotate around. Now some of you aren't going to have the flexibility like I can move around just like this. Some of you might need to come around like circles. Just do what your body will allow. So you're going to do these this way, then you're going to do straight leg forward and back, hip flexors, you're doing stretching out your quads and your hamstrings, and then you're going to do a sideways motion, doing inner and outer, again warming up more of the hip flexors. You're going to do it to both sides, okay? Is I like to kind of sit into a squat. Now you might need to hold on to something. I usually, with my flexibility, it allows me to get down, and I'm usually just, timing myself usually to keep myself on track. I'm not sitting there for 5 minutes in one position. A lot of times I might count 1, 2, 3, move to the next one. 1, 2, 3, or you can time yourself for like 10 seconds for each movement. So I'll usually be like 1, 2, 3, into this position. 1, 2, 3. I'm just doing lots of different movements. 1, 2, 3. Moving into this direction. 1, 2, 3. I'm just constantly moving. Again, it's like flow work. So you're moving your body in so many different directions while you're stretching. That just creates better mobility. So you can move yourself into different positions and be able to get into different positions and engage better muscle, have better muscle engagement. And then your joints and hips aren't going to prevent you from completing something, or you're going to prevent that injury. And for example, think if you fall, something happens, accident happens. If you're a little bit more flexible and mobile in certain areas, again, you're not gonna have the injury that you probably would have gotten if you weren't flexible or mobile. It does not need to be long. You can literally complete this all in 5 minutes if you rep yourself, count or time yourself, and keep moving. So once you're all warmed up, you're flowing your body and move into different directions, and you're ready for your workout. And that's pretty much all I do before every single workout. I usually combine all these movements, the neck movements, while I'm walking on the treadmill. Then when I get off the treadmill, I do the lower body stuff. I decrease the amount of time I'm doing warming up because I'm combining it all in one, or most of it, so I can get right into my workout right away. All right, going into muscle activation, there's not a whole lot you have to do. It does not have to be overcomplicated, it does not have to be crazy. If you can find a resistance band, it can be something lighter weight. It does not need to be something super heavy where you're just like trying to just push some weight, pull some weight. You just need a simple lightweight resistance band. And let's say today you want to focus on biceps. And so it's just basically doing literally simple move, a very basic move. Biceps. Do this for, I don't know, 30, 40 reps. Boom, that's it. You're warming up and activating that muscle. You can get a little bit more, you can do a couple different other moves if you want to. You can focus on one. But again, it's just very simplified. Engaging those muscles is isolated. You're not doing some crazy move exercise like we see all on Instagram. We see all these like new and crazy, outrageous moves. You're going to the most basic of moves and just warming that up. So you got that. Attach this. I don't have anything in this room to attach to. So you want to do your lats. So you want to focus on this area here. You can do a row, just a bunch of reps, really focusing on moving into that, moving that muscle. You can go attached to something. And so you want to focus on doing rows. Just, again, activating, getting those muscles warmed up. Very basic movement. Triceps. Just getting those muscles fired up. We all know, shoulders, biceps, triceps, we got quads, we got the inner thigh, we got the outer, we got glutes, we got hamstring, we got calf muscles, we've got chest, we've got our different cores, we've got obliques here, obliques, the side muscle, we got upper, we got lower core, we've got lower back, we've got lat muscles, we've got the middle back. So there are very basic muscle groups. If you're unsure of something, look up a muscle graph. Literally, everyone's on our phones. Google muscles of the body. You look at the different muscles, and you're like, oh, this one, I want to work this one. And then you go grab a resistance band, and you're doing only a very basic, simple move for that specific intended muscle that you want to work. So when you go to do your heavy weights, you go for an isolated exercise, those muscles are going to be firing properly. And you're good to go. And you're going to get the proper engagement and the proper performance. Everything, your full body is warmed up. It's ready to go. You got the blood flow going to the right area, and you're just going to be that much more successful with your workout. I want to show you a series of glute exercises because I know that is the highly requested for glutes. I actually recently started doing more glute activation. So glute activation and also burnout, more so recently, and I felt a huge change and better performance in my workouts. And I actually soar where I want to get in my glute work, in my exercises. So I think warm-ups and the muscle activation are very important, especially if you want to take it to that next level. So I hope you guys found this very helpful. If anybody else has even more input that they want to put in, anything they want to share, please comment below. I think the more the merrier, the better. A lot of people have different opinions and different successes with different things. I think, we're a community. I think sharing and helping each other, encouraging each other, lifting each other up is so much better than just, it's like constructive criticism. We're helping each other, not just trying to bring each other down, bashing each other, being like, oh, you don't do it that way. Let's help each other out. It's all about, helping each other and doing it in a positive way. And, people are going to take it a lot better when you're doing it in a nice way. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of this video. I will see you on the next one. Mwah!
Bop.